What's up? It's Andre from Black Nerd Comedy, and you're checking out Justice League Live. Because if you weren't, then they wouldn't be live. See ya, man.
You heard it right, y'all. A new video from Aqua, man. I'm staying consistent with this, and I'm not going to quit. We are back with another one, man. And as you can see, Bloodshot. You know what I'm saying? Vin Diesel from Valiant Comics. This is a discussion. This is a spoiler-free discussion because it's so early. I just want to talk about this movie, bring you up to speed. You see, I got my Bloodshot shirt on, courtesy of the Nerd Report. You know what I'm saying? I got my Bloodshot poster, courtesy of Jody's Corner. And leave a comment below, man. I might even give a poster away. If you want to get one in the mail, I might have to throw you a poster. I got a couple extra ones, man. No more t-shirts. But y'all can enjoy mine. And you know I love comic book t-shirts, y'all. Let's get into this one, man. This is a big one, man. This is it's a good move for Sadler's section. You know what I'm saying? And this is my way in. You know what I'm saying? So let me weigh in. Alright, what are we gonna talk about first, man? Where do I begin with this movie, man? First of all, shout out to Valiant Comics. Movies is what separates the big boys from the little boys and the big girls from the little girls. And Valiant Comics is one of those companies that I wasn't thinking was gonna, be first out the gate. Normally you would think Image, and Image has had movies in the past. And to my knowledge, this may be the first Valiant comic to hit the big screen, as far as I know, as far as the characters I'm familiar with. Now, I'm used to Images of Lobo, pale white skin. I thought he was from Japan. He has this big circle in his chest. As you see with the Vin Diesel poster right here, that he does have a glowing circle, but it's kind of encased in his ribs. I don't know if that's coming from the back or coming from the front. But he's amazing looking in the movie. A lot of times it's just straight up Vin Diesel with a lot of scar tissue. But Vin is that guy, man. You know what I'm saying? He's buff, he's tough, he's Dom. In the beginning, it takes you about 10 minutes to shake the Dom off. You know what I'm saying? Because he really doesn't have to do any other movie except Fast and Furious franchise movies. So I'm thankful to Vin Diesel for coming out of his fast hole and blessing us with another superhero. You know what I'm saying? Or he's kind of like a Deadshot. You know what I'm saying? He's not necessarily a superhero, but it's a comic book character. You know what I'm saying? He's a killer. There's a lot of mercenary killers out here. And I wasn't familiar with Deadshot at all, even though my office is in a comic book store and I frequent comic book stores probably 4 times a week. I've never picked up a Bloodshot movie. I thought he was like a Lobo. He looks like a Lobo. The color scheme is dope. I just didn't give it that chance. What I will do this week is brush up on Bloodshot, Deadshot. You know what I'm saying? Deadshot, Deadpool, Wayne Wilson, it gets a little confusing. So he has he uses a lot of guns and does a lot of shooting in this movie, and he has a team. And the cast is pretty awesome. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of cool people that make up the cast. Obviously, we talk about our lead actor, which is Vin Diesel. Then next up, you got Asa Gonzalez. So Asa Gonzalez, and you have Sam Heughan. You have Toby Kebbell, I think his name is. You have Lamorne Morris. You have Tallulah Riley. You got Jokan Hakor, I believe his name is. Guy Pearce, and Alex Hernandez. There's a few other people in there I missed. I'm not sure the name of the Indian actor that plays a tech guy. If you know the name of him, put it in the comments below. But just to give you a feel, this was an all-star, well, not all-star, this was an all-working actor ensemble, an international ensemble. You had people from America playing British people. You had British people playing American people. You had Australians coming in here. You had Russians. You had people from the UK speaking with American accents. So, like Guy Pearce, man, he's known for Prometheus and The King's Speech. And I believe he's a UK-born actor, but he was speaking with an American accent. Then you got Lamorne Moore, who used to be on BET. You know him from The New Girl, and he's a black guy on The New Girl. And he was talking with a British accent. His character was like Wilson Wiggins or something like that. He even joked that it was a comic book name, but his logo was fly. It was a skull with a beanie on, and he rocked a beanie throughout most of the show. He was almost a comic relief, but not quite the comic relief. And he comes in later on in the movie, man. You know, Asa Gonzalez is Mexican. So she was playing an American, or maybe not. She just, a Mexican woman speaking English, perfect looking specimen. The camera was they had some flaws. At some point, she had a little extra makeup on. She was so beautiful, and they were getting in so close and so tight. I wish they would have pulled out and softened her up a little bit, but her tattoos were amazing. She played someone that could breathe. If you're familiar with the comic book, this isn't spoilers for the movie. This is just telling you a little bit more about the characters. She played an enhanced human being. You know what I'm saying? And Vin Diesel is an enhanced human being. His main powers, hyper strength, accuracy, and healing factor. Unbelievable healing factor. I don't know if he's half robot, half man, or whatever. I had no idea what Bloodshot meant, because at the end his eyes turned a bloodshot red. But what they were saying is that the name of this team was Bloodshot, or the experiment was Bloodshot. Throughout the movie, they never referred to him as Bloodshot. So this is an origin story. Like I said, it's brought to you by Sony, Valiant, and Sony Entertainment. It's nice and refreshing to see what Sony's doing this year. Ever since Spider-Man Far From Home, ever since all those the leak and a lot of the executives got turned over, I'm really excited about what Sony's been doing and what Sony continues to do. Out here in the world. So, Bloodshot is just another great part of the expansion of the Sony world, and they opened with a commercial for Morbius. You know what I'm saying? Mike Morbius, which, another pale non-hero comic book character. So that was interesting to see that preview. Maybe I'll do that preview is old right now. I don't know if I should even do a review on the preview, man. But let's get deeper into Bloodshot. As you see, it says you don't need a past to have a future. And, it's one of those situations where, he's just coming to trying to figure out who he is in this world, or who he's going to be, where are his loved ones, what he doesn't know about himself. He's trying to find himself. literally and figuratively. Now, he was a natural born killer, and as you can see with guns in his hand, there is a lot of violence in this movie. If you remember early on, Sony pledged that this movie was going to be rated R. Now, the movie was not rated R. Oh, shoot, I almost forgot. Tallulah Riley plays his wife. Another, I think she's Austrian, maybe. But Tallulah's beautiful. It's hard kind of trying to see Vin Diesel with Tallulah. I don't know how I felt about the casting, but that's his wife in the movie. They kind of make it feel like that's his girlfriend, because I'm not used to Vin Diesel being married or whatever. And every time he kissed a girl, he felt like Dom, you know. But yeah, he's on vacation, and the way the movie sets off, you're going to think it's weak. So the first 15 to 20 minutes, the first act of the movie, you're going to be like, Sad said this and Sad said that, but he didn't warn me about this movie. So let me just tell you now, if you're the type, so for all of y'all that's in theaters and have invested your $15, you're going to give it a shot. And for all y'all bootleggers, you know what I'm saying? Like my man, now I'm not going to say any names. I got a friend that bootlegs movies. He is part of the league, and he's proud of it. He's never been part of the league, and that's a big hint. But he always finds a way to see movies before they come out or while they're out without actually having to go to the theaters. And if you're one of those people who just downloading it, you might not stick through this whole movie, because there are a couple of ludicrous things that happen in the first 20 minutes. But what I do say is that you should give this movie a shot, because if you can wait till 35-minute mark, a lot of those things that you thought were asinine will make sense. It comes together. My logic was like, wait, no, wait. He can't do that. He doesn't have any powers. Wait, why is he, on this mission? What does that have to do with anything? Where is he going? Where are his friends? Where is his support? And within 35 minutes, all of those questions were answered. You know what I mean? And somewhere around about 35, 40 minutes in, we're introduced to Eiza Gonzalez. Now, Eiza is his sympathizer. She is his right hand. She can, if you know the character, she can breathe underwater. She never has to come up for air. She's nice with her hands. You know what I'm saying? I really loved Eiza in Baby Driver. She played Darling. You know what I mean? And I think they both had matching tattoos. They didn't even touch that in Baby Driver. And when I used to watch early interviews with Eiza during Baby Driver, she didn't even know Fast and Furious 1 from Fast and Furious 2 from Fast and Furious 5. So now that she's co-starring opposite Vin Diesel in a movie, hopefully she got a chance to bone up on those Fast and Furious movies. Who knows? She might even be in one. And what you might not remember, she was a cyberpunk in Alita Battle Angel as well. So she's no stranger to, she didn't even know. And then she ended up, after Baby Driver, in Hobbs and Shaw. So, just the irony that she wouldn't even be familiar. She knew of the Fast and Furious franchise, but she couldn't tell you her favorite one or any of that. And then she ended up being in a Hobbs and Shaw movie, and she ended up working with Vin Diesel. So the world is small, man. So I'm sure she's all caught up on her movie trivia at this point. So she's a strong fighting woman. She has never been the damsel in distress. She's more of a spy type, Black Widow-esque, go get it done type of woman. But she does have a weakness. She has an Achilles heel, a weak spot, and it is exploited several times through the movie. But when you think she's going to zig, she zags. When you think she's going to zag, she zigs. So even in the beginning, I don't know if I mentioned the two villains, and me saying they're villains is going to throw some things off for you. So anybody I didn't mention, I won't mention. But it's funny to see the transition of the characters. Some people you're rooting for, you end up rooting against. Some people you're rooting against, you end up rooting for. You know what I mean? The main villain is Johannes Hakor. That's not a strength. That's not a surprise. So I'm gonna leave it at that. He is your main target, and then there's some other targets in the movie. I think like Toby Cabell plays a big role in the movie. But to see Bloodshot not have his memory, like I don't remember my name, but I remember how to drive a car. Or I can't walk, and now I'm running and fighting in 3 minutes. One of my main, let's get into some problems with this movie. We're going to talk about story. We're going to talk about special effects. We're going to talk about soundtrack. And we're going to talk about the action. You know what I'm saying? And then we're going to wrap it up and talk about the ending. Okay? But let me get some of the things that I had a problem with. Let me put some of those things out there so we can get past those. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so my main problem is that, and this isn't Valiant's fault, and this isn't necessarily Sony's fault. This is a non-proven character, and when you have a non-proven character, you have to prove them. So, origin stories, sometimes you get what you want, sometimes you don't get what you want. And what I realized is, like, with Batman, you know, we're looking at billions of dollars of marketing. With Wonder Woman, we're looking at billions of dollars of marketing. I can't remember not knowing who Batman was. I can't remember not knowing who Wonder Woman was. It wasn't like I opened a book one day and was like, there was Wonder Woman. As far as my memories go back, Star Wars, Wonder Woman, Batman, Green Arrow, the Hulk, and obviously Superman. Even Woody Woodpecker and Big Bird have always existed. Okay? I don't remember who Bloodshot was from my childhood. So things that come naturally, like the Spider-Man theme song or all of the Spider-Man villains or the Joker, I couldn't tell you who Bloodshot's main villain was. And my main thing is that a hero is only as good as his villain. Darth Vader made Star Wars for me. Darth Maul made the new stuff. I'm saying the Joker made Batman heroic, and Spider-Man had an ensemble. Batman had a rogue gallery too, rogue villains. A gallery of rogue villains, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But when you talk about somebody like Iceman, I don't know who Iceman's main villain is. You know, reading Black Panther as a kid, I know Kraven, the Hunter, and Baron Zemo, you know. But Bloodshot, who's his villain? So I felt like we didn't have an epic enough villain to go against somebody that's that OP. Look at his arms, bro. Can you imagine if my arms look like that? Then you have special powers? Bloodshot has a healing factor, and I'm over a healing factor, bro. Between Deadpool, Wolverine, you know what I'm saying? Cut, heal up, cut, heal up, cut, heal up. I'm over that. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like I can't reinvent the character, but it's a solid character from what I can tell so far. But I did not feel like the villains were OP enough for me to ever see Bloodshot as an underdog. The only reason he was without the best powers is because of his inability to remember who he was and what is motivating him. And they had him over a barrel. But if you have him over a barrel for a long time, they had plenty of time to develop a super villain that was just as strong Why not? If you make a weapon, if you make a poison, you gotta make an anti-poison, an anti-venom. What are you creating that can shut down somebody as powerful as a Vin Diesel with a healing factor and superhuman strength? And the cronies that worked at the company called RST, which the logo was fire, the building was fire, the backdrop was fire. I should have looked up where they filmed this. I might look it up now. You know what I'm saying? Because the cast, like I said, was from all over the planet. I'd like to know, Siri, where was Bloodshot filmed? That's what I want to know. Because the buildings, the locations, they went to Hungary, they went to Budapest. And I don't know if they were on location, but the places they went looked beautiful. Vin Diesel had a best working vacations I ever seen in my life, because he always hits. They shot some of it in Cape Town. You know what I'm saying? South Africa. You know what I'm saying? Concluded October 25th, 2018. The film was largely shot in Cape Town. You know what I'm saying? And built the Hollywood studio in Africa. Wow, how crazy is that? You know what I mean? Everybody asked this question. You know what I'm saying? South Africa, Sony Pictures. So, big shout. Because the beautiful locations is a big part of this movie. The story does have some holes. Those holes exist because he's not an established character. Things I already know about. I can't walk into a Batman movie fresh. So you can walk into here fresh. And they needed another 20 minutes. Now don't get me wrong. It's fine without the 20 minutes. But it's so rush. Get to the action, get to the killing, get to the paper, get to the bag. You know what I mean? Find this person, find that person. Where's my wife when I need her? You know what I'm saying? Why isn't she saving me? Why isn't she caring about me? Where is she? What's she up to? And it got a little Groundhog Day Vacation with the Griswolds repetitiveness to it. And it's like, oh man, not Ready Player One again. Like, what are we gonna do? There was that Tom Cruise movie where it started over and over. I was like, please don't do that. And they didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So, although you can find flaws in the story, there are certain things. You know what I'm saying? For example, when Vin Diesel gets cut and he is using his healing factor, he is almost like a magnet. All his parts come back together. But he just poured some of his parts into a jar and handed it to a scientist like, yo, study this, cure me. And they walked off. It wasn't even a jar, it was a glass. But like, you would have had to screw the top on the glass, and those things would have been trying to get out the glass to join back into his body. For me, a critic, a critical thinker, a critical watcher, a critical talker, this bothered me. That there was blood in a glass that wasn't trying to get reattached with his body, because if you cut his fingers off, parts of his fingers will come back. So I can't just chop my finger off, put it in a cup, sit the cup on the table. That's not how he's built. The cup, the finger should jump out the cup and come back and reattach to his hand. That's how he's genetically mastered and set up. So you can't just give your blood. You can't give blood. You put it in a syringe and it's going to come right back out the syringe. And they're nanites, so they're microscopic. But Jurassic Park did the same thing. A mosquito went in an amber and pulled out some blood, and the blood became the DNA, and we invented a dinosaur. When you read the book for Jurassic Park, it's like a whole chapter with all these big giant words, and it makes sense to you like, oh, that could really happen. But when you seen it in the first Jurassic Park, it was like, And they did that. They fudged it together for the sake of time. It's like, yo, we got to keep this story moving. I know that line producer was like, come on, guys. We got another 3 days of shooting before we, we got 2 more hours of sunset. Let's wrap it up, get to the next scene. And sometimes that's a problem because Vin Diesel did not have the budget. Him being Vin Diesel, them being Sony, and him coming off a Fast and Furious franchise. The actor trusts the director trusts the producer, and you guys know that you were rushing this part of the story. From Act 1 and Act 2. Act 3, it slowed down because of all of the action, okay? Well, we'll get to action later. Right now, we're still talking about story. So that was a big pet peeve of mine. I like believability within a suspended reality. I understand it's not reality, but I want to see some logic in there. And there was a few little holes that you can poke in this story, okay? Let's get to something good. Effects. Oof. Nanites was like, the nanites was popping, yo. They was getting it on. You know what I'm saying? They make him who he is. He was strong without it. He's stronger with it. And now, the computer graphics of seeing worlds being built. Think of Deception. You remember Deception when the buildings were coming up, buildings were going down? Yes, it's a ton of explosions. Yes, it's good driving in this movie. Yes, it's good fight scenes, good action. I was not distracted one bit by the fight scenes. Okay? One time he pulls up with a truck full of powder like flour, and you can't see in the tunnel, and it's red, and the bad guys are red, and he's turning blue, and the lights are all red. Cinematically, it was beautiful. Action, it was beautiful. And they had holes getting burnt in engines, and bulletproof glass, and explosion-proof glass, and oh man, you want to talk about, bullets going right through Vin Diesel. You seen, things, people, part Terminator, parts were part Terminator. If you ever seen a Terminator, some of the ideas from, I guess Terminator 3 were incorporated into this. There's no way around it. If I scrap my face off and my face comes back, those same effects, Terminator was studied to give us those effects. You know what I'm saying? It didn't look cartoony. It was pretty good. The effects were really good. There were some parts where there's a guy with no legs, and he has enhanced legs, and he can do things with his legs that a normal person couldn't do. And when he's running, I like the fact that he's running so fast that he can run on the walls. Now, it's not superhero-ish. It's like more like parkour, like 2 steps on the wall, but I'm moving so fast that I can jump from this side to that side to this side to this side to this side. That's the strength of his superhuman style legs, but he's not like running down the wall. You know what I'm saying? Some of those parts look corny. And there's another character that has a gift of sight, and he can see 360 degrees. But I don't really understand how that's a superpower. Like, I get why it's an enhancement, but I don't understand what you're going to do against somebody that can punch you through a wall and you got all regular body and no eyesight. Like, what are you doing, bro? You're not built for this. We need somebody with some crazy, nanite arms or a nanite face. I don't know, bro, but just being able to see in 360 degrees, it got to be a little more to you than that, bro. That's not super ability. Now, let's get to the soundtrack. All right, so we went story, we did effects, now we doing soundtrack. Soundtrack was not the best soundtrack. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, because Wonder Woman has a theme song. You know what I'm saying? Sony didn't go to get a John Williams. They didn't get a Junkie XL, DJ Marshmello, DJ Ammo. What's his name? Steve Aoki. Skrillex. No, this movie did not have a signature sound. And we are living in a day where a signature sound, just look at Baby Driver. You know what I'm saying? Look at, what's the Spider-Man movie with Miles Morales? Not Spider-Man Homecoming. What's the other one? Sunflower. I'm a sunflower. Like that soundtrack took that movie to the next level. And Sony knows this. I don't think Valiant knows this. I think when they was drawing the comic book, they had no idea what the movie was going to sound like. It sounded like generic explosion, tension, relaxed, love scene, action. And they just imported movies. I mean, sounds here and there. I was watching an interview with 50 Cent, and he said, yo, music is the last part of television. It's the last part they think of. They did not go into this movie with a plan for the soundtrack. It's evident, it's obvious. You are not going to walk away from Bloodshot humming the Bloodshot tune. But just think about, that John Williams soundtrack, bro. Like that Star Wars soundtrack, Star Wars music, E.T.'s music, when creating an iconic character, the theme song becomes its own thing. You know what I'm saying? Even with modern stuff, like Wonder Woman Wonder Woman, the original, not 1984, you hear, you know what I'm saying? I'm not doing a good impersonation of it, but it's it gets your attention. And I don't think that they took into consideration this. And, I believe the composer's name was like Dave. I don't remember. I'm not saying the music wasn't good because it moved the story along. I just didn't feel like Bloodshot had his own identity. You know what I mean? They didn't hire a singer-songwriter, but, they had a good composer that had worked on a lot of other projects, you know what I'm saying? Inspiration for this movie was, like I said, Total Recall, Terminator, Logan, Deadpool. It's supposed to be a rated R movie. And I think that we might get a rated R Steelbox if the movie does well. I don't do movie predictions. I'm not equipped enough to do strong movie predictions like that as far as the price goes, because I just started studying box office. I know what a good story is, but I'm not the box office. Oh, it's going to do 80 mil. It's going to do 100 mil. Like, I'm not good at that. That's not a strong point of mine. I'm just giving you my personal opinion on how I feel about the movie and whether I think you should see it or not. With that being said, let's get to the action, man. Fight scenes, hella great, man. Strong fight scenes. And this is the first time that this director and Vin Diesel have worked together outside of the Fast and Furious franchise. You know what I mean? When I think Dave Wilson was the composer, but when they came together and Vin Diesel inked this deal, everybody was very excited over at Sony. Even though it's a smaller character in the world, it's great to see another comic book company getting a movie made besides the top two that we're familiar with. I never would have expected Valiant to get something in theaters before Image. Image has Saga, Image has Spawn, Image has a lot of great content. Image was The Walking Dead. Image has a lot of great content without being in the theaters. I feel like that Spawn movie went straight to HBO, but maybe it didn't. It's been so long. And then Jamie Foxx is on it. He's off it. He's on it again. Who knows how long we got till the Spawn movie comes out. But Image, I'm rooting for you guys too. I'm rooting for a lot of comic book companies. IDW. There's a lot of, Lion Forge, but with a book like Bloodshot, I think it sold about 7.1 million comics, and I think they made about 110 issues. Now I think with the popularity of this movie, if the movie does well, then they'll continue to make more issues of the franchise. But last time I checked, it was at 110 issues for the story, which is great for an independent comic. I hope my comic which is called Big Z's and the Dream Squad. You can follow me at Quanzillions. Oh, my company name is at Kids Int Rocks. And I'm working on a comic book now. My comic is all ages. It's not rough and tumble like this Bloodshot. But if you're a comic lover and you like, my comic is meant for comedic timing, not like Thor, who's a serious character. And I have serious stories down the road. So if you jump on at Kids Ant Rocks on IG and start following, you'll follow my story as it develops. I'm going to draw comics on here. I'm going to do a premiere with my man Paris Cullins, who drew Blue Beetle. He drew Wonder Woman. He drew The New Gods. And he also drew The Eternals. Paris Cullins. Look him up. I'm going to do a couple episodes with him, showing me how to draw. He's one of my mentors, and he's an artist. So if you're an artist or you know an artist, make sure you stay subscribed to this channel and on my Instagram, because I'll be doing exclusives here and there. So I have a book right now for sale, and it's based on my comic. So check that out when you can. Now, as I wrap this up, let's talk about the ending. Big finish? Yeah, it's Vin Diesel. You're going to get a big finish with Vin Diesel, man. Not small. Not small at all. Fights. 60, 70 stories in the air. Big drops, big falls. Is his head going to splatter? Is it not going to splatter? There's espionage. Can the bad guy get away? All your classic superhero fun stuff. Doesn't feel cliche. It doesn't feel cliche. And like I said, the bad guys were not as strong as they could be. And I thought that this guy's bringing out something heavy, and I thought they're going to open a door and all hell was going to break loose. Like, give me a Gorilla Grodd looking dude that's going to tear Vin Diesel apart. Nope. Vin Diesel is the monster in this movie, and nobody can handle him. And that's okay, because this is Bloodshot's premiere. He's the star. There's no mental character evolution, really. He just gets to know himself better and he evolves, but I don't know what the obstacle is. Usually in story structure, the main character learns something that he didn't know before. And yes, he learned something, but I don't think that's a value system. Like if I'm a quitter and then I learn not to quit, that's the value system. If I have amnesia and I learn who I used to be, that's not a story arc to me. But don't get me wrong. I'm not faulting the movie. I am faulting it to a degree, but they do put a bow on it. Certain things don't make sense, but they are setting themselves up for a sequel. There's no cliffhanger ending. They put a bow on it. They committed. They solid. It's a solid story, man. So at the end of the day, would I recommend this movie? Yes, because it's the beginning of a new era. Support this movie so that we can get other movies from Valiant Comics. Go check this movie out. There was people there with their girls. There was people there by themselves. There was super nerds in there. And everybody walked out satisfied. So, is it an A+? Is it the best movie I've ever seen? No. Is it a good, solid hour and a half, 2 hours of action-packed fun? Yes. Do you have to suspend a little bit of reality? Yes, you do. Is it more enjoyable than Venom? One of Sony's other groundbreaking movies, comic book movies outside the Spider-Man franchise. Yes, I enjoyed this more than Venom. Rewatchability, I don't know because I'm fresh out of it. I'd have to wait a couple days and see. Would I watch this again? Yes. Do I need it on DVD? If I was an avid comic book fan, yes. Does it make me want? I don't need it on DVD, but it does encourage me to go back and read a couple episodes. I am not a gun-toting hero guy. And he fights. He does not need his guns. This is part of the problem with this story for me. Because if you don't need a gun, if you can punch somebody and knock their brain out the back of their skull, you don't need a 45 or a 22. Because you're the weapon. You are the weapon, and he is the weapon. And he's just as strong as Logan. He's just as healable as Deadpool. And he's just as fast as... He's kind of fast. He's very fast. He's enhanced fast, but he's not fast as a Flash. But he's a weapon. He doesn't need them. He doesn't need any of this to kill. So maybe he can kill from a distance. I don't know. But at the end, there's a nice payoff. And the special effects when he go to the boat place, and it's a Westworld feeling about stuff. It's hard to describe this to you and still keep it spoiler free, but just the computer graphics and the alternate reality that they're able to project in him, they can send signals right to his mind from their computer. You know what I'm saying? He's almost like a Suri. If Suri was a weapon or Alexa was a weapon, it would be Bloodshot. And that's the concept of this, man. So at the end, he is no longer Pinocchio, the puppet. He is his own man, and that's good to see. You know, and I think we'll get another one. I'm pretty sure we'll get another one. I'm gonna bet that it does so well that we'll definitely get another Bloodshot 2. Alright? So in order to get Bloodshot 2, you're gonna have to check out Bloodshot 1 and tell him your boy Aqua sent you. This is Sadler Ward and Ward's weigh-in. It's late. I had to get this thing out to y'all. And if you get a chance, watch a video on Paper Planes called Interview with Jason Janeo, because I'm going to do a review for On My Block next. And then after that, I'll drop a late Narcos review. Alright? Thank you for sticking to the end. If you stuck to the end, put the word Vin Diesel in the comments. Vin Diesel is Diesel. Put that in the comments. First person to do that. If you want the Bloodshot poster, put it in the comments and tag me on Instagram at Quanzillions saying I dropped the name. So, and I'll mail you that. I'll mail you the poster just like this one. Brand new. Not this one, but one like this one. Alright? Shout out to Jody's Corner. Shout out to all my brethren in the Justice League. Shout out to the fans that stuck by us through the turmoil. Shout out to the Nerd Report. And shout out to Sony Pictures for hooking me up with free popcorn and a soda. Diet soda too. Stay on your team, fellas. Watch that diabetes, man. Not too much sugar. Holla back.